Good morning to this Dashcam Diary of a Disabled edition. Haters. I'm always going to have haters. I know this. I've always had haters my entire life, so I mean, it's not anything new. I woke up this morning, I went onto my socials like I usually do, check out and see what happened overnight while I was sleeping. I get super excited and it helps pump up my day with motivation. I'm like, yeah, I got stuff. And it helps my brain slowly wake up in the morning. I've been awake for about 2 hours now. Thankfully, I've been awake for that long, because otherwise I would not be out the door right now. Which I'm heading to my appointment early. I got a phone call about half an hour ago saying, hey, your doctor's a little booked today and he's requesting you come in a half hour early. I'm like, great, that leaves me 15 minutes from the time of this phone call to get out the door. I did the best I could. I got out the door in 25 minutes, so it's an improvement. So I'm just hoping that traffic just agrees with me for once when I'm running late like this. Which I'm always running late, so I always hope that traffic's good. But usually when this happens, I have now hit every red light on the way there to the highway, getting out of town. That's just the way it goes. I mean, all I can say is I tried the best that I could. My guts are still kind of trying to adjust to being taking my medications. I haven't even taken all my medication yet. I just got dressed and got out the damn door. My executive dysfunction and time management skills are just ridiculously slow. And what seems like 5 minutes has really been a half hour. My sense of time and direction and everything has always been off. Always. Like, which way's north? I don't know. Sun sets in the west and rises in the east, I think. I don't know. I mix them up all the time with my dyslexia. So, I've got some brain rewiring that I am constantly working on, trying to get the dots to connect correctly. And sometimes I need to be told in a different way in order to understand something, because my brain just doesn't comprehend things the same way as others. Neurodiversity at its best. Finally on the highway. Only took 3 minutes. Right. So anyways, I am headed to my doctor appointment early this morning. I have a chiropractor almost immediately following, and I was kind of concerned because I was going to be having to rush across town. And my appointment's kind of full too, not just my doctor's. I got stuff going on outside of his appointment. back to my Facebook. I posted my link to the taking out the trash in the ice storm video, and I boosted it for like 2 or 3 days. I don't know. I only wanted to spend like $25 or something, so I didn't. I didn't boost it as much as I posted in my past. Let's just put it that way. I'm kind of broke right now, so I don't really have much money to be boosting anything. But I still need to keep my posts regular and routine, and it's only special videos that I really, really enjoy doing that I end up posting to Facebook, let alone even if I post it or boost it or not. I will post it to my socials if I really, really like it. Just in all of them. But I am a firm believer in just following through with things now, and I just, I need to follow through with more. So I'm trying to hold myself accountable by posting at least one video a day, with the exception of weekends. They're kind of like a mixed bag. I don't know what's going to be on those days, whether I need full rest, full stop on all my socials or not. And I just like lounge around and sleep and catch up from the busy week that I've had. Or try to do my chores and catch up on what do I need to have prepared for the following week when it goes to my appointments that I'm having them coming. So, anyways, the topic of haters. I promise. 6 minutes in, almost 7 minutes in, I'm finally getting back to the haters. So, ADHD, always backstory, context. Like, there's always a reason for something that I do. Whether I explain it or not, that's neither here nor there. I don't need to justify and explain everything that I do. I do what I do. And that's all that matters. If you like it, you like it. And if you don't, you don't. Whatever. Move along or stay. Whatever you want to do. It does not affect my anything in any which way. But I would love for people to like and subscribe so I can continue being in the algorithm and popping up and introducing myself with whatever video pops up in suggested videos in the algorithm. So I never really ask. Here's one of my ask videos. Please like and subscribe. Blah blah. Okay, done. There's my ad. There's my marketing. So my haters. So I had somebody post something about, I already deleted it and I already forgot what it said. But the other one that really stuck with me is the one this morning. The other one that was kind of passive aggressive. The one that I really can't think of what exactly was said. I have a pretty decent memory, but when it really doesn't pertain to me and it doesn't get under my skin, it's whatever. It's like, why did you even post that comment? People are such trolls. Whatever. I let it slide for a day or two until this morning I had somebody like that comment and then make a hater comment underneath it. And that hater comment had to do with, imagine doing what everybody else is doing and you're paying for people to ridicule your post. It's not word for word. It's along those lines. It had the words ridicule in it, and something about like basically making fun of me for marketing myself and branding myself because I have followers on my. It's exactly what I'm doing. I mean, it's the truth, but it was the negative connotativity behind it because like, yeah, you're paying for this trash. You're paying to advertise your trash that everybody else is doing. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Whatever you think is your opinion. You can have your opinion, but I really don't want to look at your opinion on my page, so I deleted it. And what I usually would do is I would go stalk their page and figure out who hear from me, that means I'm doing pretty dang good. But the more you hear from me and the more you see my posts, the more struggles I'm dealing with. That's just the way I use my social platform as a therapy tool for myself. It's me basically therapying myself. And I'm not really just talking to myself in my head, I'm talking to you. But I'm also talking to myself and hyping myself up and helping me think more logically and clear and taking the emotions out of it. But I also want to feel my feelings at the same time. It's a very hard thing to do, especially with being on the spectrum and neurodiverse, which I believe that the more neurodiverse we are, the better. I mean, it's more outside the box thinking. We have way wider perspectives because we can take our feelings out of the equation. A lot of the time it's easier to not know what feelings are, but it's not really in the long run. In the long run, it's harder because you're not feeling your feelings, and then they come out in microaggressions and then anger and lashing out at people and going crazy over impulse buys like Stanley Cups and stuff. Like I don't know. Like I just had to put that like really silly trend out there just for a second. Like it cracked me up. People crack me up. But it does remind me of like, this is the only way we're getting like Black Friday deals these days, is like now any day can be a Black Friday, and any one item at TJ Maxx or not Target because of their Stanley Cup thing. And now people are getting bullied over having fake Stanley Cups. Like, that's ridiculous. It does remind me of growing up in the 80s though, when the starter coats for athletic teams were a flippin' thing, and people were getting bullied, you know, over, you know, Kmart fall apart, you know, like the cheaper clothes. Like, it was all about like high fashion, the money, flashing, you know, the best clothes at school. And if you didn't have like the trendiest clothes at the time, then yeah, you get bullied. And if you have any kind of off-market, like off-brand, that makes it even worse. You better just not even try to follow a trend when it's trendy. Like, it's just not worth it. That's what I learned. And that's what I learned growing up, is like, be ahead of the trend. Be the trend. And I'm trying to be the trend of inspiring people to speak their truth. I'm not trying to follow any trend. The only trend I'm trying to follow is get my word out there and using socials as my platform. That's the only trend that I'm following. And I'm trying to start trends of being happy despite the problems, working through your feelings, process this stuff. This is why the addiction and mental illness is so strong in this country and everywhere throughout the world. Isolation is horrible for someone. The more you want to hide and not feel your feelings, the worse off it gets. And the more it just builds and builds and builds until the pressure just pops. And then that's why people are having these meltdowns and crises like way before middle age. Because they're hitting burnout. And because this is an overstimulated world. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. We're overstimulated, flooded with information non-stop throughout the day. Sitting in doctor's offices, doom scrolling, rabbit holes. And for what? We're just consuming it up. We're gobbling it up. So why not use it for good, not bad? Use it for good to help get your story heard. People that are like trauma victims usually end up writing like autobiography books and stuff. Well, I'm doing it through YouTube. I'm writing my story and telling my story via YouTube. That way I don't gotta write it down. I don't gotta edit it. I don't have to deal with publishers. I publish it myself. I'm cutting out the middleman. And I'm not trying to really make money off of it because this is my passion. This is my hobby. I love just helping myself help others. That's what I'm doing, is I'm helping myself by helping others learn to talk their truth just like I am. So I'm trying to empower everybody, women or not. Speak your truth. unapologetically you. It's okay not to be okay some days. It really is. People need to be okay with that. People need to get okay with it. Get with the program. Feel your feelings. Stop being awkward. Stop having social anxiety and caring what people think, because that's a lot of social anxiety. You care what people think. Stop. Stop caring what people think. Only your opinion matters of yourself, not anybody else's. But I'm at my doctor appointment, so I gotta go. So remember, be unapologetically yourself. Have a good day.